Bolo Vinaka everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for viewing my videos as part of your revision for your external exams or your interim exams, whatever short tests or things that are coming up, or you just like to revise some things before they actually happen. Thank you for using my channel to help you with your revision. I also thank your parents and your teachers and your friends who have guided you to this page, and I pray that whatever the things that you learn from this you can also share with others. So thank you so much. Today, as you can see from the title, we'll be doing comprehension, and I've been getting a lot of messages from some of you through my social media and also on the messages on also on the comments on my other videos that some of you would like to know how to tackle this section, which is comprehension. So I am using the Fiji Year 13 paper, external paper. This is from 2020. So even though it's a Year 13 paper, this can also apply for Year 12 and Year 11. Now remember, kids, this is a scoring section. Comprehension is a scoring section, and like the title states, it's a way for you to comprehend or whether you understand what you've read or not. So this can be a bit tricky for us here in the Pacific because English is our second language, but through practice, I'd like to also reiterate and keep reminding you guys, English is not a subject, it's a language. You've got to practice it. You've got to see it every day. You have to be exposed to reading English, to listening to English, to watching. So whenever I watch movies, I always like to have subtitles for any English film that I watch because it also helps with my English. So I've been teaching for a while now, not as long as some, but I've taught enough to know that kids in the Pacific, you continuously expose yourself to reading, writing, and listening to English. That way you can become better at it. So without further ado, let's dive into our discussion. So yeah, we've got comprehension, 15 marks in this section. Now, we also will see that I've been trying to teach you guys on speed reading. Okay, you might be thinking, what is speed reading? It's in the word, speed reading. All right, so what I usually tell my students is follow the TEXI method. So you all know that T stands for topic sentence. So in our comprehension texts, they always come in a formal writing format. So our topic for today is global air pollution has fallen, but it isn't a silver lining. So that is our topic, and also there is an idiom in it. Right? So global air pollution, we can see that it's talking about the world, global, and air pollution, and has fallen, but it isn't a silver lining. So that is a good thing. We started off with a positive, but with this connective, it has shifted. So it isn't a silver lining. That is also an idiom. So it doesn't always mean that that's a good thing. Right? So once you've read that, you get an idea of what you're about to read. So let's start with paragraph 1. Now, you've always noticed in all our comprehension there are numbers on the side. So those numbers indicate when you're answering some of the questions, the question will come line 5, like this is bolded. There'll be a bolded words or bolded sentence or sentence that you need to refer to. That's our way of for you to quickly refer to it. So everything has a purpose. It's not just random numbers that you put on the side. Kids, it's got a purpose. So let's go back to the first paragraph. So around the world, an unexpected impact of the economic shuttering down to the coronavirus outbreak is striking blue skies and clear water in places. From Venice to Beijing, Los Angeles to Bangalore, where pollution dominated. Full stop. So that is your T, your topic sentence. Then you have what comes after T is E, correct. So E is explanation. So COVID-19 has driven the global economy to a near halt as the pandemic sweeps the globe. That is your E. Example, with factories shuttered and cars parked in garages, air pollution has dissipated in cities. Now, looking at that whole paragraph, it is basically telling you what our whole article will be about. So it is a summary of the whole article. Okay, kids? So we look at the first sentence as your topic sentence. So next paragraph. The Chinese capital Beijing, known for the lung-choking levels of toxic pollution that shroud the city, has had the unusual sight of clear skies as factories in the region have shut down production. Full stop. That is your T. Let's move on to the next paragraph. However, environmental science and policy experts warn not to call this a silver lining. Any sustainable reduction in emissions and pollution will need to happen in a way that does not totally splinter society. Full stop. That's another T. In the short term, the change is seemingly miraculous. Full stop. So, what we're trying to do here, I'm just reading the first sentence of each paragraph. In China, the world's large emitter of greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide emissions declined by a quarter in mid-February from a few weeks earlier, according to analysis published in Carbon Brief. Full stop. Next paragraph. In theory, this sharp decline in pollution and carbon emissions is a positive development for the planet and the humans who live on it. Next paragraph. The decline in emissions may also seem like a win for the fight against climate change. Full stop. All right, so before I go to the next page, I would like to just also give you a tip when you are doing comprehension. Comprehension reading is a scoring section. So when you're about to look at the questions, please be reminded, and this has to go from year 11 up to year 13. Always know that question 1 will either come from the title or the first paragraph. Once again, students, question 1 will always come from either the title or the paragraph 1. Now, I want you to go back and look at all your external papers that you have with you. If you're in an external exam form, or in your, while I'm doing this video, this is term 3. So if you had mid-year exams, or if you had term 1 trial exams, you will notice that your teachers will always ask you question 1 to refer to paragraph 1. So that is a trick that I need you to lock into your head. So when you're doing your exams and you're quickly going through your paper and you've realized, oh my gosh, I only have 20 minutes to complete this paper. Students, if you do not have time to read, God forbid, I hope that's not the case for some of you when you go into the exam room. If you do not have time to read, I want you to just read question 1 and refer to paragraph 1. Don't need to quickly go through each and every paragraph. It usually is referring to paragraph 1. Okay, for example, these are the questions. In year 13, since I'm using a year 13 external paper for 2020, these are the layout of the questions. We do not have open-ended question, or so yes, we do not have sentence completion. These are all open-ended questions. There's no sentence completion or multiple choice. So if you are in year 12 and you're watching these videos and you're wondering what is the papers in year 13 like, so they're like this. So gone are the multiple choice that some of you depend your lives on, which is just 5 questions or 3. They are not in our year 13 paper. So let's refer back to the questions. All right, so A, explain the title of the passage in your own words. Look at that. That's 2 marks. All right, that's 2 marks. So let's go back to the title of the question, the title of the comprehension passage, which is Global Air Pollution Has Fallen, but it isn't a silver lining. So when you are looking at these questions, I want you to always remember the marker or the person who is marking your paper will only give you the full 2 marks if you use your own words, students. Come on. The only way for you to use your own words is if you understand. So when you use your own words, you will get the full 2 marks. So you might be writing very great answers, but if they aren't in your own words and they are not in complete sentences, unfortunately, you won't be getting your 2 marks. So at the moment, while I'm making this video, I have completed marking my annual papers for some of my students. And some of them, you might be thinking, madam, that's just 2 marks. Come on, I can easily lose that. I can gain it from my essays. Okay, students, what if your total, after completing all those lovely essays, you get 48 out of 100? You could have gotten that 2 marks from completing the questions using your own words and writing in complete sentences. So never underestimate the way you answer your questions. So please, students, don't get lazy. This isn't the time to be lazy. Try and do the paper as good as you can. And with these tips that I'm giving you, you can achieve those marks. So let's go back to the next question. Okay, so next question. Identify what has replaced pollution in paragraph 1. Look at that, guys. So question A comes from the title. So we're starting from the top. Question B is paragraph 1. See? So everything goes in succession. They all go in order. So identify what has replaced pollution in paragraph. According to paragraph 3, explain what experts look forward to. In your own words, explain the change is seemingly miraculous. Line 14. Look at this. Line 14. So those numbers on the side, they actually have purpose. See? So those are those ones. Okay. Identify the 2 beneficiaries of declining carbon emissions in paragraph 6. So we'll just go right to G, which is explain the conclusion of the passage, which is, look at it. It's question G, and it's the second last question. So we are going in order. Your teacher or the examiners, they won't just make question C be about the summary, question D be about paragraph 4. They have to go in order. We all know that in order for you to think the way you think, it needs to make sense and be in order. That is why the questions are such. All right, so that let's also go to H now. Many of my kids have problems with this. So dissipated, ebbs, susceptible, robust. Now, since all of us who are watching this, we come from the Pacific, or we're here in Fiji, we will answer the questions with a big question mark. We do not say this along the corridors of our classrooms, or we do not say this at home. So these words are foreign to us. They are English, but they are foreign. So dissipated. So I want you, in your mind right now, get out of the habit of thinking, these are big words I do not understand. So what I teach my kids is, look at the sentence it comes from. Sometimes the meaning of the word is within that sentence. So let's look. Dissipated. Is it settled, taken over, dispelled, or disbanded? So once again, dissipated, which is in line 5. So kids, if you are in year 13, I want you to refer to 2020 when you're looking at these questions. So dissipated, line 5, is it settled, taken over, dispelled, or disbanded? Now let's go back to paragraph 1. Okay, let's start with the sentence itself. So this is paragraph 1, line 4. It starts from there. So with factories shuttered and cars parked in garages, air pollution has dissipated in cities. What could that mean? Once again, with factories shuttered and cars parked in garages, okay, that's a good thing. Air pollution has dissipated in cities. So what do you think that means? Has it gone away, or has it stayed? Is it still there? So let's look at the options in our question. Let's go back to the question. So these are the options: settled, taken over, dispelled, disbanded. All right. So which one do you think is the nearest in meaning for dissipated according to that sentence? Okay. Cannot be taken over because it's been parked, the cars, etc. Dispelled. Yes. Has it been disbanded? Usually when you talk about something that's been disbanded, you wouldn't think that's air. You never say that air has been disbanded. So that's ruled out. Dispelled. No. So the best possible answer according to that sentence is settled. All right, so line 5, dissipated, means settled. So that's what I mean. You need to refer to the sentence where the word comes from, and that way you can get a meaning of a possible meaning of these words in the options that are given. Now remember, students, these words in the dictionary mean something, but in that sentence, the author has used it in such a way that sometimes it doesn't go according to what it says in the dictionary. So like the word dissipated, try and go and look for the meaning in the dictionary, and then you'll see that sometimes the synonyms that come with it, they could be two or three in these, they could match, but in the sentence, please go according to what the sentence says and how the wording has been placed. All right, so that is our comprehension discussion. I hope this has helped you in one way or another. Your teachers are doing a great job teaching you how to do your comprehension section from year 9, even in primary school, and some of you who have reached year 13 up till now, you have your way of learning comprehension. But for those who are struggling, this is one way of helping you complete your papers. And remember, this is a scoring section. You just have to know the tips and the tricks in order for you to get your answers. So thank you once again for using my videos, and all the best in your revision, and all the best also when you sit for your papers. I hope all these tips and tricks that I'm helping you revise and tackling the sections in the paper, you recall it once you sit for your exams. So thank you once again for everything, and I hope you have a great day or great night whenever you listen to this. Nakabakalebu.